Okay, welcome everyone to our Tuesday morning class for the Sandy Granite Family History Center. We're pleased to have Robin Fuellenbach presenting today. She's presenting remotely from Salmon, Idaho, so this is kind of a fun way to get our technology in gear here. In September, she presented a class called Using Record Hints in FamilySearch. And Robin is pretty much a FamilySearch expert. She served a mission in the training zone where they trained new missionaries, and we met and got acquainted up there as we were doing some presentations for the Family History Guide. So today she's going to present on using the FamilySearch catalog as a terrific research tool, and Robin will tell us all about it. So with that, we'll turn the time over to Robin, and at the end, please, with your microphones off, you can use the chat feature and record any questions that you might have for Robin, and we'll address those at the end. Thank you. Robin, go ahead.
What we're going to talk about today is the FamilySearch catalog, and it used to be called the Family History Library catalog, and then they changed the name. I don't know how long ago that happened, but I kind of lost out on that. So when I was looking at the catalog recently, I thought, well, when did they change that name? So if you remember Family History Library catalog, it's the same thing. So our objectives for today, we have a few. We're going to describe what the general contents are of the catalog. We're going to access it, see how we can get into the FamilySearch catalog. And we are going to name 8 different ways to search. We're also going to talk about single and combined searches, and then how to add items to the print list and then print the sources that we're looking for. So those are our objectives. I'm old enough to remember the card catalogs and the files and stacks and stacks and stacks of books and documents and magazines. And the thing that's cool about FamilySearch is it has completely embraced the technology to get everything digitized. So the card catalog is no longer on paper. It is digital, which means it's all available online. And the digitized records that they've taken all the time to do all of these files, they're filming them, but they're not all indexed. And that's what that huge indexing effort is. And so it's pretty amazing that there is so much on. And of course, we do have a lot more of the records filmed that are not indexed but are still available, and those are also showable and searchable online. So it's a catalog. I want you to look at my picture. Sorry, I come from a family of punners. The FamilySearch catalog is a digital list of the holdings of the Family History Library, FamilySearch.org, FamilySearch centers, and selected partner libraries. One of the things that I think is quite interesting is it says there, FamilySearch centers. So there is a list of all the FamilySearch centers who should be on our on the sites, but the Granite one isn't in there and the Salmon one isn't in there. So I wondered about that, and I think what happened with our library, our FamilySearch Center, was that we did not send in an inventory of what we had in our library, and so it never got posted. So as according to the list, we aren't available. So what do the holdings contain in the FamilySearch catalog? They have birth, marriage, death records. Of course, they have the censuses, which is pretty handy. Church registers, books, periodicals, family histories, oral and written. And I haven't found any audio references, but they do have a bunch of books that have been written about family oral histories. And of course, there are maps, etc., etc. These records can be in all kinds of forms. They can be online or offline. They can be microfiche or microfilm. They can be books and, of course, computer files. So how do you access it? When you go to the FamilySearch homepage, you hover over Search, which is right there. You can see my arrow. at the top of the page, and the drop-down menu appears, and then you click on Catalog right there, and that will take you to it. I was practicing this yesterday with some friends from our family history library, and the one had never ever been to the catalog. So I hope I'm not preaching to the choir, but somebody can learn something from this experience. Okay, when you've clicked on Catalog, this is what the home page looks like. It has searchable blanks here, and notice the default is place. You can also go to any of these others that are printed blue, that they're hyperlinks. You can search for the call number or the film or fiche number, and this is where you can go to see what the availability might be in your Family History Center. So you would just click on that one, and it would bring up a list, and then you would choose which Family History Center you wanted to look in. These other two options over here take you off FamilySearch, and it takes you to the WorldCat or to Archive Grid. And I haven't done a lot with either one of those. I have gone to the WorldCat because I wanted to find some German published books, but I haven't used these other ones, so I'm not an expert on those. If anybody else, maybe that can be a future idea for a class, Bob. Okay, before you begin your search, this is just good practice. Decide what your main objective or goal is and write it down. Using a form like this one, which is available from the FamilySearch Wiki, can help you keep track of stuff so you don't get lost down rabbit holes. It's very easy to get lost in rabbit holes when you're using the catalog, I have found. I did put this link that you can barely see on my slide. I did put that on the bottom of the handout, so if you want to go to that. The thing that's cool about this research assessment form is that those blue shaded boxes are typable, so you can download the form and fill it in on your computer and save it, and put it on a thumb drive. You can keep it, you can print it. It's just a really handy form. And this is page 2 of the form, and it's called the Family History Library Research Assessment Form if you want to go to Wiki to search for it. And all of these blue shaded boxes are typable, so you can fill up information in there. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so here are the 8 types of catalog searches. As I said before, place is the default, and it goes from the largest jurisdiction to the smallest. If, however, you don't know how it's going to come up on in the catalog list, you can just type in a word. You can type in Pennsylvania. You can type in Africa. You can type in, and it will give you some cues, some choices to go for. Surnames. Surnames and I aren't happy campers. We don't work together well. It works for unusual names. I don't know if it works better for unusual names, but it works. Say, for example, you had some family members that were last name of Adams in Massachusetts. Well, if you did a surname search in Massachusetts for the last name of Adams, you're going to find a whole lot of John Quincy Adams, Samuel Adams, all those guys, which may or may not be your family. And so it's kind of hard. I'll show you a search here in just a minute where I've used a surname and actually had some luck. Okay, also you can search by part or all of the title. So if you can't remember the exact title, you can just put a word in there that might be definitive, and that would help you. You can also search by author, and I just search by last name when I do this, unless it's a really common last name. You can also use subjects and keywords, and keywords are probably the best part of this. They're probably the least used, but maybe one of the best secrets in doing catalog searches. You can also go for call numbers or film or fiche numbers. So if you are in a source for your family and you want to see what that film is that's listed as the source, you can copy that, come to the catalog, paste in the film or fish number, and then it will bring you to that particular source, and you can see what else is there. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of a cool feature. I've used that quite a bit. Okay, so this is, we're back to the main page, and I've highlighted a couple of things on the main FamilySearch catalog page. Notice the pink box. That is a place where you can go, and it will link you to the help center or the help place where you can learn more about the catalog and how to access its materials. There are like 13 or 14 articles, I think, that are there, and it's pretty amazing, some of the things you can learn there. Of course, you can also do that through the Family History Guide. So if you look at the first yellow box, that tells you what those different search options are, and then the call number and okay, I think we covered that. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to do a search. I want to do United States, Pennsylvania. So I type that in my box, and then when I hit search at the bottom of the page, this is what comes up. Notice that the refining your search section goes to the left-hand margin, and it shows a list of the things that match the search that you have entered. So I just did it by place. I didn't do any other searches as I went. Okay? But if you'll notice, the red box is around places within the United States, Pennsylvania. So if I want to go see what smaller divisions there are, or I can click on that. And clicking on places within allows me to narrow my search to smaller jurisdictions. And I don't have to update anything as I'm doing this, because they're just links that are on the page itself. So if I go to Wayne County, that's where my family came from, then I end up with this set of information. Notice I didn't get the whole thing on there, but there's a whole list of information that is specifically Wayne County, Pennsylvania. If I change my search updates, if I change my search criteria anywhere after I've got to this stage, I need to update it. If I click reset, it will zero out all of my searching, and I'll have to start from scratch. So this is a place that you have to always go to for the updates. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Can I combine two or more of these searches in one? Yeah, we can do that. So we're going to try this with my glassmaker ancestors in Wayne County, Pennsylvania in 1816. So it's quite a ways back there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what I did first of all, is I went back to my message, my search menu, and I changed it to, I kept the place the same, but I added the last name of Bodie in the surnames box, and I got no results. No results. So that wasn't very helpful. Now, if you're like a lot of people, you'll say, well, that didn't do me any good, and you'll quit. But let me show you what you can get by going to different ways. So the next thing I did is I changed it around, and I put a surname in of Bode with an asterisk for a wild card, E, because they spelled their names lots of different ways. And then instead of the search by place, notice I went down to keywords and put in Pennsylvania. And I got 17 results. So I can go through those and see if any of those might, by any chance, be what I want. If I find one that I want, as you can see here, there's a button over here on the right that says I can add that particular source to my print list. And then it will change here to catalog print list 1 with 1 source in it. Okay. Then I decided, well, these guys are glass workers, so what about if I put in glass in the subject thing? So I close out of the surnames, I put in glass, I left Pennsylvania in the keywords, and I updated, and then this is what I got. I have 3 different sources for glass factories in Pennsylvania. So there's some options, some things to look at. Okay. Now, I wasn't really thrilled with any of those sources. I didn't think they were specific enough. So what I thought I'd do is I'd go back to the Wayne County page and click on History button. So you can see where I am. I went back just to United States, Pennsylvania, and then I went places within Pennsylvania, and I got to Wayne County. Okay? And then I clicked on that, and then I have United States, Pennsylvania, Wayne County history. So if you want a history, there's a place to look. So here are a bunch of the different histories. Now, I went through these ahead of time and looked at the ones that I was interested in. So you didn't have to go through that whole thing with me, but you can eliminate the ones that don't fit the time frame of your family being there. And so I decided I wanted to look at this one, History of Wayne County by Phineas Goodrich. I clicked on it, and this is what came up. Look at this. It says to view a digital version of this item. A digital version of this item. Woohoo! Click here. So, of course, I did. And there's the whole book. Notice it says all 425 pages have been digitized. So I click on all pages, and I get to this menu. And if you look where my little arrow is pointing, there's a little search icon. And I can click on this and enter the word, a search word or phrase that I'm looking for in that book on that 425 pages. And so I type in glass and see if there's any mention of glass in the whole book. Pretty cool, huh? And there it is. So if you've noticed my little red box around there, guess what? There's my Bodie family. And they were glass blowers in the glass house in Wayne County, Pennsylvania. So I can click on that and go directly to that page. And there it is. It talks about it. Of course, I don't want to just save this little paragraph. I want to read through a few pages before and after, and then maybe I can do a little snippet and add it to a memory in those 2 men's pages. But this is cool because it also says here there was such a place as the Bodie settlement. So not only were Joseph and Jacob living there, but there must have been other people in their families who lived in the Bodie settlement. Pretty cool, huh? So let's gosh, I hope I can make this up. Well, I don't know if I want to stop sharing and telling through with my PowerPoint. So let me finish the PowerPoint and then we'll go live and see if we can do another little search. So what I want to know is, how do I print that particular source? So there's some rules that we got to look at. First of all, you need to be signed in to FamilySearch in order to do a print list. You can add to your print list. You can remove one of them, items in your list, or all of them at the same time. And then the print list will vanish if you sign out of FamilySearch. I had this happen to me when I was in the library a couple of times. I was busy looking for other things, and I thought, oh, I'm done. And I exited FamilySearch, and guess what? No luck. I lost my whole print list. Okay. So if I were to go back to the main list that I have under Wayne County, Pennsylvania history, I can choose to add by clicking on the add buttons. I can remove the one I've already chosen if I want to, or I can click and choose all of them. I can have all of them on there. And then when I do that, that will be added under the search results heading in the Family Search Catalog. It will show that I have one item, or how many ever I've added to my list, there in the catalog print list. Okay, so that will just be the ones that I have chosen. If you want to print everything that's in that search results, you click on this one, and that's kind of a scary thing to do, because you may end up with a lot more pages of stuff that you really didn't want. So always review what's in your list before you print. Okay? It's also a good idea to check and not just look at the first entry of the source, but go into the source and see how many films there are that belong to that. So, for example, if I wanted to print 1851 Iowa Census, you know, there's going to be a whole lot of films and records that are in that one search result, and I do not want to print the whole thing, because it will print all of them when I tell them to print it all. Okay. Please remember, when you can't find it in the catalog, maybe you just need to search differently. Change your things around. Look at other jurisdictions. Look at name variations and use wildcards. Use combinations of searches. And if you feel brave, go to the WorldCat on the archive grid, because they are there for a reason. FamilySearch didn't just stick them in there because they wanted the page to look nice. They have lots of different options available there. Okay, you may not find what you hoped, but FamilySearch is always adding material to the catalog, always. And so, wait, there might be more come up in the next day even. Okay, just to review, if you get lost and you can't remember what to do, here's a place to get more information. You can click here to review more about the catalog and how to access information. Remember that to get to there, you go to the FamilySearch homepage, you hover over Search, you get a drop-down menu, and then you click on Catalog. And there are 8 different types of catalog searches, and you combine them in any way possible to get more responses, more results. Other places to try if it's not where you think it should be. And then the big thing that I think is always a good idea, and that is, don't forget to pray for help. Remember the scripture, ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. And it says here, for everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. That doesn't just count for gospel principles, that counts for family history as well. So this is a really good thing to do, is to make sure you do try each of these searches, but remember always to say the prayer that'll help you get there. Okay, happy hunting.